There it is. That was weird. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. How you all doing? We are here for episode 2 of Survivor. Survivor 48. That is what we are here for. I fully forgot that Survivor's on tonight. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you for the subscription. I recorded the Big Brother 10 retrospective early today. My hair is a mess. Look at that. I recorded it with Amon. Hold on. Very much a work in progress. We went about 2.5 hours. So, you know, be prepared. But I had forgotten I was recording early. So I woke up this morning. I was like, oh, I don't really have any like podcasts to do today. That's nice. And then remembered, oh wait, no, I'm recording early with Amon. So I was like, okay, I'm recording early with Amon. We ended up recording for 2.5 hours. At the end, Amon says to me, well, I'll see you tonight in your chat. I was like, man, I'm not streaming tonight, am I? He's like, for Survivor. I was like, oh. Oh yeah. Forgot about that. So that we wrapped up like an hour ago. Turns out my whole day has been not my whole day, but a lot more of my day was spent streaming and recording than I initially thought. But that means tomorrow I'm more free than I anticipated. Episode should be starting very soon. Let's get a prediction running. Hello. I haven't watched the jet lag premiere yet. Oh no. He's sitting on the keyboard. Um what was I gonna say? Haven't watched jet lag yet, but we did do a preseason interview that you should check out. The episode started. Episode's on. Here. Here. Oh. Say hi. Say hi. Okay. Come here. Sit in my lap. Come here. Come on. Okay, I'll take the headphones out. Is that what you want? Yeah. Let's do that. Here, I'll take the headphones. Okay. Then we've got to do this. But now there's probably an echo. We gotta turn it down. Come here. I gotta take advantage of this. Finish the prediction. Oh boy. Okay. We're properly here now. Cherry, thank you for the 8th month in a row. Somebody asked me if I'm going to be streaming for Amazing Race. I don't currently plan on streaming the Amazing Race this season. 3-hour blocks are tough to begin with, but in addition to that, the Amazing Race 90-minute episodes have been a little rough for me. If I'm really loving the season, I might start. What I will say is that if there is if the rumors are true about next season of The Amazing Race, then maybe I'll stream that. Charity content. Ah, ah, ah. No. No, no. Stop. Please, please stop. No. That's the thing about like well, this episode is just delivering so far, so it's hard to talk over it. All right, Star. Idle Hunt number 2 in 2 episodes. You got to get it. I think you need it too. Man, first 2 segments, getting Charity and Star. After a rough premiere, I'm pretty pleased with this. Although it could be also that one of them gets voted out in this episode. Boom! Oh, I don't like that they subtitle It's Only Gonna Take Me a Day. I don't like that. And they started this with her being doubted about being a puzzle maker. Oh no. Shelby, thank you for the 19th. Ooh, she goes to Joe. I don't like his reaction. Pull in Shaheen. Come on, Star. Come on, work with Shaheen. Please. Oh, Shaheen's upset about it. Why don't they want to work with Star? Yeah, this is definitely way harder than the other one. Just ruin her. Okay. First of all, yes. Do a commercial by 5:15. Next prediction. Does Star get the idol next segment? Yes, no. Um, okay. I feel like if I'm in Shaheen's spot here, ultimately, I think you have to help. Realistically, the only way to sabotage and guarantee that it works is by just like chucking the key. You know what I mean? Because if you give it back to her, there's a good chance she'll figure it out anyway. You know what I mean? Um, and if you get caught being less than enthusiastic about helping, then now all of a sudden you're in a spot where like maybe she's then figured it out and she realizes that you were not helping. And so now you're on her bad side and she has an idol. Um so in my eyes, unless it's like, down to the wire, tribal's about to happen, because that's the thing too, is that like tribal might not even happen for days. You might not lose. So, and yeah, she might go to somebody else to help. Like, there's just too many other possibilities. The only two real options are tear up the key and bury it or burn it, make it impossible to solve, and then be like, "Ooh, sorry, I lost it," which is, I think, just a terrible idea in general. Or just actually help. Just actually help, and then play around the fact that she has an idol. Um, Maybe you can use it to work on building a relationship. It's not like she's the only person you can ever vote out of this tribe. Like, I think that it's just there are way more options and it's way less dangerous to just help her get it and move forward from there. And I mean, it puts you in a good spot too. It's not like it's not like it puts you in a bad spot. You're now successfully riding the middle between a person with an idol and a group of people that you're working with. Like, it's still fine. All right, we're back. Would I play jet lag if invited? Yeah. I like this from Bianca, from Star. She was already on the bottom. She's leveraging this idol as much as possible, this advantage as much as possible. It's like they all were so clearly dead set on voting her out anyway. Like, she has literally nothing to lose. So introducing anything that might change her fate, I think, is good. Yep, that's what she's saying. She's gonna figure it out. What if it disappears? Yep. That's exactly why I said it's not a good idea to just destroy it. Love that from Shaheen. Great instincts. I don't love this from start. Trying to get a specific target is, I think, a little too big of a reach. But I mean, like I said, it's all better than nothing. That was a lot of time spent on purple. It's looking for your pizza. I keep forgetting he has a Boston accent. So this is the spot Kevin is in because they didn't flip the vote last time. So I mean, the edit feels positive on him right now in this plan. from my perspective, this is a much worse position than he would have been in if he had flipped last time. There's a lot more danger to doing it now. Say's a lot more likely to play the idol, and if he gets caught trying to flip this vote, now there's a lot more possibility for blowback. Shaheen is getting fantastic content. I'm worried it's a little too much too positive. I feel like Star is already not the winner. Shaheen's kind of my hope right now. They not pre-plan it? Are my boys. Keep waving. She looks back. Oh boy. Okay, so we talked about this last time that like Say's edit was a little like it was a little negative, but she was representing what Jeff was saying you should do, which is like take control. I think it's pretty clear that like, you know, she was the take control person, but now they are building her up for a fall. And sort of it seems like they're transitioning to Kevin as the take charge. Hey, I'm thinking about this ahead of time. The math is mathing, right? So that's where I'm feeling it's going at the moment. I feel like also I've been like influenced by the traders, which feels like it has such straightforward editing. So I don't want to get too caught with like that mindset. I feel like Survivor's a bit better. But did Star get the idol in the next segment? No, she did not. How many people get an advantage in the next segment? Is it 0, 1, 2, or 3? This is specifically whatever they're doing, wherever they're going. Those 3 people. It's Thomas, Kyle, and Mary. Those 3, they're going on a trip. How many of them get advantages of any sort? Mitch, not Kyle. Do none of them get advantages? Do all of them get advantages? Do one or two of them get advantages? That is the prediction. Here it is. Star getting her idol does not count in this prediction. Stay golden. Thank you for the 33rd. Yeah, feel free to answer in the YouTube chat as well. We are streaming live on YouTube. You can't participate in the prediction because it's a Twitch feature. You can still make a guess, a public guess, if you would like. How come I don't stream Dondi? It's harder to stream Amon just bet all of his points on 2. It's harder to stream streaming shows, weirdly enough. Because not everyone is like watching at the same time, if that makes sense. Like when we watch Survivor, it's like it's on. And we might not be completely in sync, but like, oh, that's true. It's not even a streaming show, is it? I've just been watching it on Peacock or whatever. That's a good point. Maybe is it the finale? I'd think about it. I also don't love the show, to be fair. I think the game mechanic of like playing the banker is like really silly and boring. There's 3 more episodes. Oh boy. All right, we're back. Oh, the pit's fantastic. Yeah. All right. Mary needs this potentially. Actually, it's almost worse that Mary went for the blind side on Say. Oh, this looks fun. So my instinct here is just go quick. I think this is not something that benefits from like spending a lot of time to think about it. It's literally just get a row done. And the faster you go, the better. Because it's fairly simple to just pick out a number. You just keep going until you get the number. and then you can place it. So yeah, the first row should be easy. So maybe you don't want to do the first row alone. Maybe you need to prep all 3 rows at the same time. That makes sense. It's okay, yeah. So I think I would have initially gone to a dead end and then realized I need to change my method. But as long as you're going quick, you can make those kinds of mistakes. That's my theory on something like this. Come on, Mary. He's got it. I don't think she's going to get it. Oh, no. Brutal. What's the power? Steal a vote. That wouldn't have been that useful for her. I don't think. Would have been useful for her in the next round. Block of, oh, they're different. That's one of those advantages is just straight up way more significantly better than the other. It's like one of you gets a +1, the other one gets a +2. Like, why? All right, two people got an advantage, so Amon keeps his money. Block is secret, steal is public. Oh, so you have to like publicly declare that you're stealing somebody's vote. I mean, the idea though is that like you're getting somebody voted out, you know? Like you just block. I mean, I guess okay. Well, the thing is, if you steal somebody's vote, it could tip somebody off to then play an idol if you have to steal the vote beforehand. Whereas a blocked vote, you don't have to declare and therefore might not tip people off to play advantages or whatever. Oh yeah, and then preventing things like shot in the dark could be valuable. I'd still way rather have a steal a vote though. It's just way more valuable. With a steal a vote, you can swing a whole, especially on a 6-person tribe. 6-person tribe down to 5 people, down to 4 people. You can carry an entire vote with a steal a vote. With a block vote, usually at best, you're making it a tie. And that's just not good enough. Thank you for the 70th month. I feel like at the very least, it should be like who completed their puzzle first. You know, like Mitch crushed it. Right. I did not do a prediction. Let's. I'll wait and see if it's an immunity challenge, and then if it is, then we'll do an immunity prediction. I'm sure it was. It was because they chose a path, so it was just based on what path they chose. It's just strange to me. So it might actually be worse specifically for Mary that she went on this trip in the first place. Oh, it obviously is worse now because she didn't even get anything. But the fact that she went may make Say more likely to play her idol in the event that they do try to flip this vote. And even if Mary had gotten an extra vote or even a steal a vote, it wouldn't have been enough to save her without support on the vote on Say. We're back. All right, we're not doing immunity. We're going back to Star. Does Star get her idol? You don't seem too bummed. This is smart. Well, I would say it's smart from Thomas, but no, I think it's generally smart here. This tribe is so kumbaya. More charity. Let's go. Let's go. Damn it. Damn it. I felt good for 2 seconds. But see, this is the thing. If he had to steal a vote, that would be significant. With a block a vote, it's useless. It's a 4v2 vote. They can block a vote, it's 3v2. With a steal a vote, they could tie it. So like immediately we are in a scenario where specifically the steal a vote would have made a considerable difference. If theirs is literally just a word scramble, I swear to God. I mean, did we really just watch somebody talk through solving a word scramble? What's that? Was that really what we did? I don't get it. They literally. Why is this one so much easier? This one was literally the same as all the other ones, except they straight up gave them the letters. Half the challenge was like getting the letters from the things. And in this one, they just gave them the letters. And you know what? I say half the challenge. I would say the vast majority of the challenge in the other two ones was finding, like, decoding the letters. All right. So prediction, that is a no. Next up, immunity. Yes, no. Um, so Thomas's decision to not tell them about the advantage he got. First of all, a steal a vote is fairly useful. Keeping it a secret can be very valuable. Yeah, immunity. Are we getting the immunity challenge? Is basically the prediction. So what he says is he decides he wants to keep it to himself, which is very valuable. With a secret steal a vote, you can much more easily swing a vote in your favor that was not in your favor. If they know you have a steal a vote, there are ways around, you know, there are contingencies they can put in place. There are like different ways that they could try to counteract your steal a vote. Now, there is some value in telling people you have a steal a vote as well. You can just let them know you have a steal a vote. It might prevent them from trying to vote against you in the first place. Or it might make them want to try to blindside you to get rid of your steal a vote. If I know somebody has a steal a vote on a small 6-person tribe and they're not my closest ally, I want them gone. Straight up. I want them gone immediately before they can use that. It's way too powerful on a small tribe. So keeping that a secret, I think, is a fairly smart thing to do. Shmo, thank you for the 42nd. So then the idea is that he lies about it. Now, he can lie about it and say, I failed and I lost my vote, but that's not very great because now people think he doesn't have a vote and he actually does have a vote, and that gets tricky. The other lie is obviously, I had a choice. I chose not to play. I kept my vote. I have no advantage, but I still have my vote. That's what he went with. The only real downside to that one is that once you get to the merge, you can question the other two about what the thing was, and they can say, oh, no, we didn't have a choice. And if you then had a vote in that tribal, it's now clear to everyone that you do, in fact, have that advantage. But there's basically no way around that. Whether you lie or whatever, you're always going to get found out that you have a vote. So um, you know, what are you going to do? So ultimately, I think that it is probably the choice here, um, to commit to that specific lie. Um, Especially because, like, a lot of the time, it seems as though, at least it's not in the edit, that they don't actually often fact check those trips. Um, and in addition to that, if you really had to, you could say that there's incentive for people to lie about what they experienced because, if they're saying, "Oh no, there wasn't a choice. I did it and lost my vote." You can be like, they're just trying to trick you into thinking they don't have a vote into thinking that they don't have an advantage. Um, but you still don't really want to be in that spot if you can help it. You probably want to just admit to it at that point. But really, at that point, also, the steal a vote is not as useful. Ideally, the steal a vote is a contingency for the small tribe. Once you start heading to the merge, you can tell them, actually, I lied. I do have an advantage. I just didn't want to say anything and make a big target of myself. So we're back. And we do, in fact, have an immunity challenge. Next prediction. Which tribe comes in first? Green, purple, orange. That is the prediction. Which tribe comes in first place in this immunity challenge? Which tribe finishes first? That was a nice moment. I do think my instinct would never be to interrupt and try to finish somebody's sentence, but I could see the thought process behind thinking like, you know, why, like, would they want me to? And then I think I think it's always like valuable. It's a little weird because they're on a TV show and he's a host and so on and so forth. But like generally, I think it's like I think most people would be very happy to have you ask a question like that, um, because it shows that you're interested in like learning and conforming to like their desires and needs. Whether or not you have any specific reason for it. It's just general good practice for anybody. Grew up with a stutter, always preferred when somebody helped, but it's definitely personal. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. I mean, I have to root against green solely because I still don't have anybody on their tribe. That's my draft. And I'm worried about both Star and Charity if either other tribes are lose. Jetstream, thank you for the 47th. They look neck and neck here. Love the socializing on the bench. Oh, nice little stunt move. Mary's crushing. Shaheen also doing a great job keeping up with David, who is a monster. I feel like Joe and Eva as team 2 is probably the strongest on paper. So Shaheen keeping up with David so much was big for them. Zoxy, thank you for the 10th. Ooh, it's a balance beam though. Very skill based. Does that count? Counts. Yeah, they crushed here. Way ahead. Feeling great about that. Come on, Orange. I feel like Orange has had the least amount of content. Be weird if they lost. I figured it would have had to be purple or green. Eee. Ouch. Oh, green looks great. Oh, never mind. Orange is so far behind. Let's go purple. I mean, the thing is, I feel like right now Charity has a better winner edit than Star does. So I'd almost rather lose Star here than Charity. It looks like they sent a good anchor team though, Orange. Although I would have said the same about green, but they're struggling. Let's go, Orange. I agree. I feel like having Star sit out is kind of a weird call considering the basketball of it all. Oh, her form is it's she's so accurate. Wow, how come I can't get this? Say is wild. Underhand is the way to go here. Underhand, I think, generally will be more accurate. Especially if you're not already like a basketball player who's used to. Crushing! Hold on. Is Orange about to win this? Orange in first place. Wow, so many people went green first. They still haven't. They're not even going to make it to the platform. I mean, I will say, it strikes me as the kind of thing, what they're trying to do, that gets more difficult over time as you get tired. I don't know, though. It's not really. There's not a lot of physicality involved. Although, you know what? Kevin has the shoulder. That could be an issue. Cedric couldn't balance. I guess if you can't balance. All right, 2 episodes in a row. I've had immunity. This must be what it feels like to like win immunity on a tribe where you feel like you'll be voted out if you lose. Everything's going great for now. Okay. Prediction. Does Say mention her idol? Say specifically. I'm gonna say. I mean, this is fairly straightforward, right? You get what I mean here. Does she mention her idol? I've got an idol. I might play it. If she says I've got protection, I think we can count that as long as she's referring to the idol. So the edit to me has so far been fairly leaning toward confessionals or non-confessional, all counts, yeah. I feel like the edit has been leaning towards Say leaving here. But I think something that Survivor will do on occasion is like continue to build up a villain edit, um, where like Say is, I think, getting a little bit of a villain edit. And so you expect like, oh, I'm rooting for Mary, I'm against Say to be like the general consensus, which would you'd then presume mean that like, oh, well then Say must leave and Mary stays. But what Survivor will do often, I would say, certainly occasionally, um, is that they will. I mean, this is kind of what happened to Asia. Like you were rooting for Asia, you were against Rome, but like Rome kind of wins a couple of times in a row, which makes you go like, no, I wanted Mary to stay. You know what I mean? Like, no, why is Say still here? And you're still like, you're now especially rooting for Say's downfall. Um, Whereas if you immediately gave people the satisfaction of like, and now Say's gone, look at that. It's like, well, now what? Um, so that to me is a distinct possibility. I feel like you usually wouldn't invest too much into a second boot. And Say got a ton of content last episode. Um, so I think that's what's leaning toward it. This might just be Mary. Um, but we'll see. All right, we're back. I think there's an instinct. I think there's an instinct to self-sacrifice if you feel responsible for a loss like that. I think it's always a mistake, almost always a mistake, both strategically and like emotionally, morally. Because here's what happens, I would say most of the time. You come back, you feel bad, you say, I'm willing to leave. An hour, 2 hours later, the moment has passed, you feel differently. You've changed your mind. Now it's really awkward. Now it's really bad. So he has Justin on board. Let me do some magic here. It's giving Brian Hart. I just talked about season 10. I was wondering if Cedric was actually on board because I never heard it from his mouth. It's a good question. We're voting for you. Idle mention from Say. What does Cedric think is going to happen if he votes Mary instead of Say? She flips Justin. This is why you needed to make the move last week. All of a sudden, this tribal has turned into Mary or Kevin, which is smart because I didn't think they were going to vote out Say anyway. I was so cocky. I came in from that commercial. I was like, here's why it's not going to be Say, guys. And then they flipped it around. They were like, oh, it's not going to be Say, huh? You're right. It's not going to be Say. How do you feel about that? Okay. So I do still feel like it's Mary. Um, Here's why. Cedric, I think, alluded to it. Challenges. Cedric sucked in that challenge. I mean, to be fair, Mary was great in the challenge too, though. And Kevin has a hurt shoulder, so it's like, is it really even that much? But at the very least, like you have a good connection to Kevin. More so than Mary, I would assume, at this point. Um, the reality is, okay, there's a couple of things. I mean, ultimately, I think you have to just go. Here's what I think you do. I think you go to Kevin and you say, Say's on to us. She's saying she wants to play the idol. She's saying she doesn't feel comfortable. I think we have to pivot. I think we have to vote Mary out. What can he do? Right? What can he do? That covers you. You can now vote for Mary. The other method you could choose is to put your vote on Say and let her play her idol. That can also work. The idea of Cedric voting Mary and having Say play her idol seems strange to me, because what's the point in having her waste her idol in a spot? Well, I guess it's not wasting the idol because she still needs to play it. But you're not going to get away with secrecy if you voted Mary. They're going to know that you tipped Say off because you voted with her. So you can either cover that by going to Kevin early, or you can not vote Mary and act like, oh, I was blindsided by Say playing the idol too. The issue is you're now relying on Say to vote whoever Say wants to vote, which you don't know, could be you, not likely, but it's still giving her all of the sole power, and that's dangerous. In addition to that, you're also giving her power over you in the sense that she can now rat you out in the next round if she needs to and say, hey, guess who told me to play my idol? Guess who actually did know ahead of time? She can still do that if you go to Kevin ahead of time. But at the very least, then you have like some level of like plausible deniability. All right, we had to do a prediction. Prediction will be can we do who got, was there another screening? Can we do who gets voted out? I'd like to. Let's just try it. Who is voted out? I would say definitely stay away from this one if you're prone to spoilers, because there's a chance that there's spoilers out there that somebody's seen a thing. I'm going to go Kevin, Mary, Say, other. I'm not going to put it on the screen. You can avoid looking at it if you want. That might be the smart play. And we are back. I don't know if there's spoilers out there. I didn't check ahead of time. You outed us. You did. Say is so good. Oh my god, this is so fun. I love this from Say. From an entertainment standpoint. You know what? I just thought of something. I heard it and I didn't process it until now. Justin said Kevin proved his loyalty to us by voting out Stephanie. So my thought process here is Is that why he didn't make the move last week? Did he essentially try and then get shut down by Justin and Cedric and then fell in line? Because that wording to me implies from Justin implies that like they weren't sure that Kevin would vote with them on that. But him doing so proved his trustworthiness for that vote. That makes sense, Ren, from what it sounds like. That's a good point for Mary. I like that point. That's a good point. The honest thing to do in a dishonest game is to be honest about your dishonesty. Not that you have to your competitors, but like philosophically, you know what I mean? Is this the right dream to crush? She's so mad. She's so mad. All right. Here come the votes. Not looking at chat. All right, we need to do the idle play first. Oh, the look, the Kevin's look. Honestly, it looks like a fake idol. Say. I think there's only one vote for Say. Kevin. I didn't vote. It makes sense. If they weren't going to put their votes on Say, it made sense to just take Kevin out right then and there because you're already betraying him anyway. Okay. So this is kind of like equal parts. This is exactly what I said would happen. But also, I think, based on some context clues, hard to blame Kevin for last week when it seems like he couldn't have made it happen anyway. Cedric was seemingly pretty pro se. Justin, they made it seem like Justin was on board last week. But given what happened this week, it seems like maybe he wasn't. I still think it was probably an easier push last week than this week. I mean, basically, you just gave Say another day to, bond with Cedric and, come up with an alternative. If you push hard on Say in the first round and you say, look, we've got 3 votes, maybe something can happen. At that point, she already has the idol, though, so it's tough then, too. So I would say I'd back off on my criticism of Kevin in week 1, given that I think it was probably a lot harder to make that move than they made it seem. And then from Justin's point of view, it seems as though he's a lot closer to Say than they sort of like made it seem. One of the reasons I thought it was the right move for potentially Justin to turn on Say was that she seemed to be skeptical of him when he was saying what Stephanie and Mary pitched to him, which might still be the case. I mean, at the end of the day, Justin is still pretty clearly, from my point of view here, on the outside of the Say Cedric connection. At the very least, Cedric is the center of that, which is not the worst place in the world to be, but it's also not the best place in the world to be. But in addition to that, he exactly, Brian, he would have been in the same spot on the other side of things. So ultimately, I think we have to say that hold on, we're back. That I think he makes the right call. Oh, racing to get the idol, right? Oh, the blindfolds. That's just such a brutal challenge. Oh my God, the black eye. But see, this is confusing. Kevin says he thought he had controlled the entire game. He also did say, for the record, I believe he said at the beginning of this episode that everything went perfectly with the vote the previous night, which would not imply that he tried and failed to flip the vote on Say. So maybe we can bring a little bit of that criticism back. But overall, I liked that episode. I thought that was a fun episode. I thought that was a better overall strategic episode. I would say a much better overall strategic episode than the premiere was. It didn't have the emotional highs of the premiere, but I did really enjoy the strategic side of it. In addition to that, what I really liked about this episode, a couple of things. One, as I mentioned, they like psyched me out. I was already thinking like they're not going to take out their villain this early, and then they flipped it around and made it, is it Mary or Kevin? Um, and then in addition to that, they, I think, very clearly explained the reasoning behind pretty much every strategic decision that was made. Why did Kevin want to keep Mary? Why did he push for Say? Why did Cedric then spill the beans to Say? Then Say, why did she go to Justin? And then why did Justin flip on Kevin? It all tracked. None of it felt super hidden from me. And when the vote comes in on Kevin, I wasn't left feeling confused. I was left feeling like, oh, they got Kevin. So I would say very good episode overall. But that's Survivor. I did do the Survivor B&B. If you want to check out my thoughts on the premiere episode beyond what we talked about on the stream, you can do so over there. We also played a fun little game about Survivor duos. Thought that was a good time. In addition to that, jet lag. We did a preseason interview. I talked to Tom Scott, guys. Isn't that wild? So you can check out the Tom Scott plus jet lag crew interview. Let's see. We're gonna go. Oh, look at that! 60% went on Maria. I feel great about that. I feel great about this prediction being mostly wrong. That feels good for spoilers. Now we just need to hope that like Rome doesn't get involved in this season. Anyway, check out the jet lag preseason interview. We'll see what other jet lag coverage we got coming this season. What I might do at some point once the Traders finishes is do like a dedicated Traders stream to talk about the season. That might be fun. Also, of course, stay tuned for Goose Goose, Blood on the Clock Tower. And yeah, we'll see what else goes on from there. Check out the Tastemakers if you haven't. And then tomorrow, Big Brother 10, 2.5 hours. I kind of went a little overboard talking through Big Brother 10, so check it out. All right, that's what I've got for you. Thank you all for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed it here on Twitch or over on YouTube. And I will see. Oh yeah. Okay. Quick note before I finish. I already told you the story about picking Shaheen first in the drafts. That's because Andrew from the Regulation Podcast, formerly of Rooster Teeth, reached out and let me know that he had been a judge in the pencil trial because Andrew had made a bet that he would eat a pencil on that podcast. Did not follow through on the bet, went to fake court about it. They hired online judges to rule whether or not Andrew needed to eat the pencil. Shaheen, one of said judges, who then told Andrew to eat the pencil. So Andrew let me know this before the draft. I said, oh, that's great to know for the draft. I already told the story about how I then picked Shaheen first. And everyone was like, why did you pick Shaheen first? And I was like, I trust his judgment. And I felt like I needed to give more. I wasn't prepared to actually pick him first. I say he's pro pencil eating. They're very confused. Andrew watched the podcast, thought it was hilarious, decided to share the clip on the latest Regulation Podcast. And so this was a very fun moment for me because I love the podcast. I've been a fan of Jeff and Gavin from Rooster Teeth, Gavin from Slow Mo Guys. Like, I've been a fan of them for like, geez, like 15 plus years. Um, and to hear them crack up about me making a fool of myself on the draft was very fun. So that was a fun little moment from the Regulation podcast. And it was a cool little moment. So check out the Regulation podcast. I think they're going to be. I mean, in general, they're going to be talking about lots of non-Survivor related things, but I think they plan to watch the season. I do actually have a link. They post their podcasts on YouTube. So this is their latest podcast. Andrew brings up the clip about 6 minutes in. If you want to check it out. Anyway, that's what we got. Thanks again for hanging out today, and I will see all of you next time.